Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a WIP and chat. I'm gonna be working on this coloring book image from Crystal Canvas Art Designs. I kind of don't really know what I'm gonna do yet, but today we're gonna do the easy part at least. I'm gonna do the background, which should be something that I have a lot of. So this coloring book image is from Crystal Canvas Art Designs. I got it for $8 during a sale where I had to buy two for full price, and then coloring book images were $8, and then the things on sale were $10. And I just showed the unboxing for it last week. And this coloring book image only has two colors charted. See, it says here, one is 91 and 2. And those are just both the white and the black. And obviously I'm not going to just do it all white and black. So I'm going to do this, and this did not come with any drills, so you have to use your own. So I have, this is my specials, my spare specials. This over here is all my specials, and then over here are my overflow for the crystal rhinestones. And I do have, most of my crystal rhinestones are in these packages here, so I do have a lot of spare crystal rhinestones to work with. So, and I've surpassed the box, and now I have this extra bag. So yeah, those are all my spare rhinestones. What you saw in the baggies were my ones that are so much that I wasn't able to fit it in my bottles anymore. So looking at my spares, the only color I think I have enough of to do the background color is these ones. This is the clear, which is 001, which is the background, the color that they chose. I have 4.5 bags, and that's not including my full bottle here. And that's not including everything I don't have yet kitted down. And that's the only one I think I might have enough of to even do the background. The only other one that I have this, which I have 1.5 bags of, but I don't know, I don't think that's enough to do the background. So because I have nothing else to do the background, I'm going to use 001 for the background. And then I was also I do have like a version that has an AB coating, and I think I don't know if you could tell there's an AB coating on this as opposed to this one that doesn't have the AB coating. I'm hoping the camera will pick it up. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle, not sprinkle, but like just diamond paint a couple of this as I go along, maybe. So yeah, that's my plan. My plan for now. So I've been timing myself, diamond painting, so let's get started. And normally I don't diamond paint this way. I don't do the diamond paint by, I usually diamond paint by section, but without having like a color scheme, I don't know what to diamond paint. So, you know what I think I'm going to do first is so this is just some leftover backing from a double-sided adhesive diamond painting, because I have tons of backing, and then I just cut them into like strips. And you may have noticed that I have my thicker bags on my specials, and just yesterday for me, but you might not see the video for a month or something, I went through and switched out everything to be in the thick bags, and and so at some point you'll see that video, but I don't know when. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sprinkling these ABs randomly, and I'm trying not to think about it, because if I start thinking about it, I'm going to start like trying to do them too unrandomly, because yeah, I have problems where sometimes I kind of want to have everything be all symmetrical, and I'm already kind of seeing things where like I'm kind of spreading them out. So I'm just adding this just to add a little bit of extra bling somewhere, and I'm just doing this first, and then I'm going to fill it in with my regular clear. So yeah, this is my plan. Today's video is just to do as much of this until, I don't know, I run out of things to talk about, or 2 hours happen, whichever is first, which probably will be the run out of things to talk about. So, okay, that just fell there, so yes, that could go where there that is. Yeah, I'm trying to just not think of where I'm putting them. So that, you know, it's sprinkled a little randomly. I thought of just mixing these in with my clears and just adding it, and then just kind of having that be more random, because if I mix the things with my clears, it'll be a little bit more random than me kind of choosing where to go. But yeah, no, I don't even like mixing the same shade. That I'm like, I don't think I can mix it. So I figured just do this, and then when I feel like I'm satisfied with how many there are on the canvas, I can see this. That's where I was starting to like choose where to go. I would start up a new one. So yes, my canvas looks a little diseased right now. I'm like looking up on the screen, it looks like there's little dots. Should I move you down? Like, because you don't need to see the whole thing. So yeah, right now, yeah, I'm just randomly adding these ones, which have like I don't know if you could tell in the camera. These ones have the AB coating on them. So I kind of just like to have them sprinkled around just to add some stuff to the... So I'm just trying to cover things so that I don't put the sticky on me. And that's the only weird way I could figure out how to do this, because I can't see doing this in sections, because you kind of have to see the whole thing. Like, I was looking at it and I felt like I was squinting so that I could figure out what to see. That's the problem with the ABs. They start coating your wax and it gets annoying. So, well, I have like a glue dot in here, which I start just poking it so that there's just enough open instead of replacing it. That's what I do. I just poke. Okay. I think it looks diseased enough with the ABs, right? Okay, get on with the boring one. Clear, which I have tons of. I figure use up my emptiest bag first. So I'm gonna take out my 7 placer. That's what I use when I have really big amounts of color blocking. I don't go any bigger than a 7 placer. I feel like I don't have enough control. I think I need more wax, new wax. I haven't used my 7 placer probably for a while because I don't use it much. So I'm using like this wood pen. I forgot where I got it. I had like an unboxing for it, and I even recorded it, and I just never showed it for whatever reason. It was from a Etsy shop, and I think it was like, yeah, it was from an Etsy shop, but I can't recall what Etsy shop it was. And I got it primarily because I was trying to test out whether the wood pens are lighter and I would like them. And they are lighter. I just think my hand is too small for how thick this is. So it's really wide. Like, I don't know if you can see like how wide it is. And I don't know. I think my hand is too small, but I just keep it with my 7-placer so that at least I get use of it. And I barely ever use my 7-placer, so oh, that's too many. So yeah, how I usually multi-place is I try to not have the same, like you see there, I started with 4 down there. That way I won't have like a line where the 7-placer always ended, because I feel like that's where things are more obvious that you multi-placed, when there's like a line that is obvious that that's where you started the multi-placing. And I've seen folks do like checkerboarding, but then you kind of still see the line where the checkerboarding happens. So I just make sure that when I multi-place, I don't do exact numbers all the time. Like right now I just did 6, it doesn't matter. But I think this way you don't, oh man, I accidentally ended at the same spot. But you usually don't accidentally end at the same spot. And with the random ABs in there, it should be fine, hopefully. So yeah, there's 7. We'll do 3 here. We'll do 5 here. This is just my way to make sure that when I go up the line, it's not always where it's the same. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, yeah, that way when it ends in a certain spot, it won't always end in that certain spot. Nope. There. So what did I do this week? So this weekend is actually a 4-day weekend, or 3-day weekend. That's 4-day. Wish it was a 4-day weekend. It's a 3-day weekend in the US. It's a holiday on Monday. Well, the past Monday, because this is showing on Wednesday. I'm just staying home. Don't have any real plans or anything. I think tomorrow I might go to Costco. That's my plans. I'm going to Costco because I need supplies of stuff, because I ran out of stuff, and I have to go and return something at Home Depot that my dad had me buy, because I was going to send him, because okay, there is this thing called the balikbayan box, which is how folks, I guess, here in the US and anywhere else can send stuff, like, to the Philippines. So I fill up this pretty big box, this substantial box. It goes over by sea cargo and gets to the Philippines in about, well, my dad lives in the southern part of the Philippines, so it usually takes about 5 weeks to get to him. It just goes on the boat, and I think the actual sea voyage between, I don't know, the west coast of the US and the Philippines takes, I think, about 4 weeks or 3 weeks or something. I don't know. I'm making this up. So he had me buy him something from Home Depot, and I bought the wrong size, so I have to return it. And unfortunately, the closest Home Depot to me, well, fortunately, I guess, the closest Home Depot to me is where the Costco is, so I'm like, might as well go to Costco too. So yeah, tomorrow which is Memorial Day. Oh, wait, is it open? I hope it's open. It should be open. It's not like Christmas where things are closed. I guess I'm going to go to Home Depot to return some item, and then I'm going to go to Costco and buy stuff. And usually more stuff than I was planning to buy. Yeah, I ran out of my calcium vitamins, so I need to buy that. Mainly because my mom took some with her when she went to go to my sister's house. So she was like, I'm gonna take some calcium, and then she pretty much takes most of my bottle. So now I'm out. And then, you know, just buy random food items, because that's what Costco's good for, the random food items. So then, okay, yeah, that's my boring plans for Memorial Day Monday, because I might record some videos, because next weekend I'm planning to go to my sister's house again, visit my niece, my mom, my sister. Because next weekend is the closest weekend, I guess, to my birthday. So I'm gonna go there, celebrate my birthday with my family. Because, yeah, my birthday's on a Tuesday, so it's like, oh, so what? Even though I did take the day off, because I have so much vacation, I'm just like, I should just take it off. Why shouldn't I take it off? So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna visit during the weekend instead of visiting on Tuesday, even though I took the day off. I don't know. Mainly because, you know, the last time I went to visit my sister, I usually take the ferry. I take the Bremerton ferry to go to Seattle because, I don't know, it's just more relaxing than driving the 1.5 hours. Even though the ferry ride and things like that is an hour long, and then, you know, I have the at least 15-minute wait before the ferry and things. So in the whole scope of things, it might actually be shorter if I drove around, but it's just so much more effort to drive. And plus, what, gas is expensive. Although the ferry, okay, so the last time I went on the ferry, so I went to visit during Mother's Day weekend, and that was the last time I went to visit. But before that, I had visited, you know, Easter. I had visited on Easter. I'm just trying to straighten it a little bit. I had visited on Easter, and okay, the ferry at that time was only, I think it was like 16 something for the one-way ferry. And then when I went to visit for Mother's Day, it was $20 and something cents. I forgot. But I'm just telling you the base number. And I'm like, wow, it's $20? That's like a massive jump from 16. And they're like, yeah, no, this is the summer pricing. And I'm like, okay, summer pricing. But then I was like, I was already there, so I was going to take it. And like I said, it's so much more relaxing to just go on the ferry than to have to drive around. So what was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, the ferries in Washington has the summer surge pricing. And let me tell you, there was actually a lot of people on the ferry when I went to go visit on Mother's Day weekend, to the point that I actually didn't get to go on the ferry on my way home on Mother's Day weekend, because I get to the ferry, usually I got to the ferry about like, I don't know, about like maybe 8 minutes early, which I should have went earlier, but I usually never had a problem getting onto the ferry. But apparently there's a reason for the surge. Well, it might have also been because it was Mother's Day weekend. And I accidentally got on the wrong line, because the Seattle ferry thing has the line that goes to Bainbridge Island and then the line that goes to Bremerton, and I accidentally got on the wrong line. And I wasn't able to get on the ferry. So then, I went on the wrong line, and and then I just ended up going around and then I was like thinking, I should have just went on the Bainbridge ferry. I mean, sure, it would have been like a 40-minute drive home from the Bainbridge, so it might have just been the same thing. Yeah, no, I should have, yeah, I don't know. All I know is I missed the ferry and I was just like, no. But then when you're in those like last minute decisions, you probably make the wrong last minute decisions. But yeah, no, I was like, maybe I should have just taken the Bainbridge ferry, but it would have been 40 minutes away. So then I'm like, how much more relaxing is that than just driving around? But nope, there's a reason for the summer surge because there really is that many people taking the ferry during the summer. Or it could have just been Mother's Day. I will see. I'm planning to take the ferry again this time because gas is expensive. So at this point I'm like, and the ferry is expensive. So would I rather just, the gas would probably still be cheaper, remarkably, than paying for the ferry. Because I drive a Prius, so my car doesn't use up that much gas. But yeah, no, just how much more relaxing it is to take the ferry. And then my house is only about 15 minutes away from the ferry in Bremerton, and then my sister's house is like 10 minutes away from the ferry in Seattle. So then that's a difference of me driving 25 minutes versus 1.5 hours. Or maybe it could get a little bit less, depending on the traffic. If there's no traffic, I could probably get to my sister's house in 1:15. If there is traffic, it just increases depending on the traffic. And then I have to pay bridge toll. I have to pay the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. So, yeah. So, yeah. Either way, I'm still paying a large amount to drive, apparently, because, gas is crazy expensive now. Although I haven't had to fill up for a while, because I don't, like I said, I drive the Prius, and pretty much the main places I go is work and home, so I don't use up the gas that much. But yeah, nope, gas is so expensive now. and see, the thing is, I think we were spoiled by how cheap gas was recently. Because I do remember prior to moving to Washington, at some point gas was like four something a gallon when I was in California. That is one of the weird things. Like when I moved to Washington from California, I'm one of those people that the native Washingtonians probably don't like. You Californians are driving the prices up. I don't think that's me, but I don't think I was driving the prices up. I think the prices were just going up, period. And you might want to blame Microsoft and things like that instead of the Californians driving the prices up. But I've heard it more than once. So I moved to Washington from the San Francisco Bay Area, and when I moved here, I was like, oh my gosh, housing is so much cheaper. Oh, and it's not that cheap, it's just cheaper than California. So, I mean, I was paying, like, when I was in college, I was paying for this ugly, it was just like a 1-bedroom place, and it was already expensive. And I remember seeing other places that were more expensive than it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how do people pay for housing? And then, like, the house that I was renting when I was in California right before I moved, okay, this is a trash drill, right before I moved to Washington, and it was just like a normal, like, 3-bedroom house that you see in normal suburban, and it wasn't even in San Francisco. I went to look it up because for funsies, like, how much is this house worth? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this house is worth like $1 million already, and that's not even in San Francisco. So did a little pause there, my phone rang, and I thought my phone was ringing and someone was calling, but nope, it's an Amber Alert. I get a lot of Amber Alerts. It's a child abduction. It's really sad when you get the Amber Alerts like that. But what was I saying? Yeah, I came to Washington and I was like, wow, things are so much cheaper. But like housing was cheaper, gas was cheaper. There's no state income tax, so I only have to pay the federal income tax. Makes doing your taxes so much easier. And I was like, oh, okay. But the one thing that actually, this is where I'm trying to go in my story. The one thing that actually didn't become cheaper was actually my car insurance. Apparently, when I was trying to get the car insurance when I moved to Washington, there I was like, wait, why is it more expensive? I just stayed with my same the same company that I had insurance in California, and then I was like, why is it more expensive? And they're like, because everything else was cheaper, but the car insurance was not. And they were like, there's a lot of accidents in Washington. And after living here for a little bit, I can see why. We have weird weather sometimes. People forget how to drive in the rain, and it rains a lot here. And so I was like, okay, fine. That's the one thing that got more expensive. And sales tax is a little bit higher too here, I think, just because I think it's because of the no income tax. So money comes from sales tax. So the sales tax is a little bit more expensive, but barely. So yeah, California taxes everything. So, but I do know that they drive a little bit slower here. The what do you call that? The why can't I think of it? The speed limit is a little bit lower. There's not as many lanes in the freeway as it is in like in California. I'm just taking out the things that don't belong. This one has no silvering. To the point that the last time I went to California, when I went to my cousin's daughter's wedding. How that person's related to me, what's my cousin's daughter? I think, I looked this up at some point, and I think it was first cousin once removed. I went to my cousin's daughter's wedding, it was in Southern California. I drove in, I mean, we flew in, my sister and I flew into LAX, and I rented a car, and let me tell you, after going there, after being away from California, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like 6 lanes in one direction, and I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot how to drive. I think maybe it might have been 8, I don't know. There's just a lot of lanes in the freeways in Southern California, and there's a lot of freeways in Southern California that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot how to drive in this kind of system. Because you get so used to where you're at, even though before when I moved to Washington, I was like, why is everyone driving so slow? People are actually driving the speed limit. Yep. And they enforce the speed limit here. Like, there's portions where, like, you get to and people actually start driving the 30 miles per hour, and then you're just like, oh my goodness. And then, yeah. So far, I've been lucky. I have not ever gotten a speeding ticket, but I'm surprised I have not. But I think I've also, the longer I've been here, the more I end up just kind of going with the same pace. So don't drive the 80 miles per hour anymore on the freeway. But yeah, no, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't drive. I forgot how to drive. Why is there so many lanes? Wait, I have to change 4 lanes to exit over there? Yeah, no. And then plus with driving a rental, It's like you're still getting used to your rental car too. Nope, but I made it to everywhere without breaking anything. But yeah. I remember, wait, someone was telling me, I was working one day with this, when I moved to Washington, one of my workplaces, one of the folks was actually from Montana, and I forgot what she was telling me. Like, Montana has really high speed limits, but she was like telling me that even though the speed limits were lower here, she's like, oh my gosh, there's so many cars. Why are there so many cars? So I'm like, it's the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is there so many lanes? So yeah, that is my not so awesome, not really, driving adventures. I'm one of those folks that I just don't like driving. It's not my idea of fun. My driving is just a necessity. I need to get from point A to point B, and the driving is the way to do it. I don't enjoy it. I know some folks enjoy driving. I'm not one of them. And I'm like, nope, I know nothing about cars. I just need my car to get me from point A to point B. But what was I saying? I don't even know more. What am I saying anymore? And I don't even know how I got into this topic. Why? I don't know. Like I don't. You think I prepare for these videos? I don't. I really, really don't. So I guess what? Oh, so this week, I had my first new hire come in and start on Monday, and there is a lot of paperwork that is required when they start. And unfortunately, okay, so this week I feel like, so as supervisor, I kind of know that there's when people have to call in because of COVID, and my workplace has a where you have to answer a screening questions before you can come in, but I don't actually have to notify anyone else unless they were at the office and in close contact with folks in certain time periods. So there's times where like folks have to tell me that they can't come in because they tested positive or something, and then I'm like, okay. And but then, they also weren't in the office during the time that was considered contagious, so I didn't have to send a message to everyone and be like, there was a positive and they were in these rooms and things like that. It's pretty obvious when you say which rooms people were in. So yeah, it's been going around a little bit. So then when I started, the first day the person started, the folks that I was hoping would help me with the first day stuff. So I have one person that's in like I'm gonna put a little bit more ABs. I have one person, the front desk person apparently couldn't come in because she was in close contact with someone who tested positive. And then I had the computer person that was supposed to help me with the computer setup for the new person, and she couldn't make it in, but not because of COVID, but because she had like a migraine that was really bad or something. And then I'm like, so there we were, and I was like, okay, I think I know where your computer is, so we could just go find your computer. Luckily, I did find the computer, and it had his name on it, so we were like, okay, at least we have that, because you can't really do all the new hire paperwork without the computer, because now everything is not paperwork anymore. Is it even considered paperwork? The new hire forms will go digital forms without the computer. So luckily so I come in early. So when I came in early, because I have made mention maybe that I'm an early person. I'm a morning person. So my hours which I chose are 6 to 2:30. So I was at work, and then the new person had come in at 8, which is the normal people starting time. And so then I gave him the tour, the and then I was like, okay, hopefully after the tour, the computer person or the front desk person will be here. And then they were not there. And then I was like, but since I'm not their supervisor, I didn't know, because I know my folks, but I'm not the front desk person, and I'm not supervisor, and I'm not the computer person supervisor. So I didn't know until a lot later that they had both called in sick for the various reasons. And then I'm like, so there I was like, okay, I think I know where your computer is, so we'll just hope that the computer is set up and you'll be able to start it. Luckily, the computer was set up, so that all worked out, and we were able to find the new hire paperwork. And then, yeah, now he was just systematically just churning through the paperwork. So he was going through the paperwork really well, really easily. So hopefully he will work out. So an interesting thing is, though, we have at my group has a weekly group meeting. And so since we had this new person, I had everyone introduce themselves, and the new person introduce themselves, and just give like a blurb, anything, just be like, hi, I work on this, or hi, I've been here for blah blah blah, I do this portion. And what I found interesting was the new person started out his introduction with, hi, sorry, I'm a little socially awkward. And I'm like, that's very honest. I think a lot of folks, at least in my career choice, which is, science, I feel like a lot of the folks in the STEM fields are socially awkward. I feel like I'm socially awkward too. So I get it. And I just really liked how that was how he introduced himself. And we told him, you're not alone. We're all kind of, we're in the science field for a reason. So, yeah. I'm hoping he works out really well, because, yeah, so far he seems really quick sometimes. And he was telling me all sorts of things he wanted to fix on the computer, and I was like, I'm sorry, we are like, the IT people here are like sticklers. We can't even install a printer without the IT doing it. So yeah, because he was telling me he likes to fix computers, and I'm like, that's great. If we have a computer problem here, maybe we could ninja it without IT knowing. But no, IT are massive. Like, the IT at my work are like, they don't let us do anything. Like, we used to have, because we're in the science part, and a lot of our instruments use the computer to work. Sometimes we used to have admin rights to install and uninstall things to the computers as needed. But nope, the recent people in IT have kiboshed that whole thing. And it would be awesome, maybe, if, they were always available, but they're not always available. So what happens if we have a computer problem and we have to wait for off-site IT or someone to help us with it, when we already know exactly what we need to do? But yeah, that's just another problem. So getting a lot of this done. I don't know if I'm doing this as fast. So let's see what else. So I had to do another presentation at work, and it was pretty much, I was trying to present to the folks what we do at the lab, and why we can't handle projects without lots of notice, because I don't know. I feel like, so I work in more like an analytical chemistry. So a lot of what we're doing is testing samples and telling you how much of something is in there, or if something is in there. And I swear the folks outside of the lab think that maybe we're like CSI, where we could just swab something. I swear, I can't watch things like CSI where I'm like, no, all you did was swab that thing and suddenly you know what gasoline station you got it from. How? But yeah, I think a lot of the folks outside of the lab just think, oh, we're just going to like send you this bottle of water and like 2 days later you'll have the results. No, it doesn't work that way. Or, you know, it'll just take like 5 seconds to process the sample. No, it doesn't work that way. Some of our preparation for water takes hours. There's some of them are overnight. You can't, it just doesn't work that way. So when we're like, we need advance warning to do certain projects, and we also need advance warning because sometimes we don't have the supplies for the certain project, because a lot of the stuff we do is not always like routine. So if it's not a routine kind of thing, then we have to buy supplies. And sometimes supplies take a while, and then we have to, yeah, no, all I know is sometimes the folks outside of the lab don't realize how much has to go on for us to do some of the things they want us to do. So on the presentation this week, I was trying to show them, okay, this is all the projects we have lined up for as far as I know, because this is how much you guys have told us is coming. And then someone was like, oh, what about this project? I'm surprised it's not on there. And I'm like, this is what we know. If you guys tell us something is, the project is going to start up on a certain day, but not tell us definitive dates and things like that, we don't know. And projects keep getting like pushed back. And like there's this one project, it was such a rush when they were first told us about it. So then we went and bought supplies because we didn't have enough supplies to do the whole project. And then guess what? After the initial like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this right away, 3 weeks later, guess what? We still haven't done it. It still hasn't started, and it's like been postponed. And I'm like, how do I work with this kind of stuff? It's very difficult when they don't realize we just can't just start with no planning. So, and I made a little table and told them like, this is what we know is gonna happen for the rest of the year. And if your project is not on this, it's because we don't know it's gonna come this month. So it would be awesome if you guys gave us more planning, because yeah, there's a point where we're gonna run out of capacity. Like we can't say yes to all the projects, and we have, and we have, like I said, we have to prepare. We can't just be like, oh yeah, we could do those tomorrow. Some things we can, because they're ongoing. We have ongoing projects using the same stuff. So if we have an ongoing project using the same materials, it's usually pretty easy for us to say yes to another project that has the same things. But yeah, nope. It's sometimes the folks outside of the lab does not understand that we're not CSI, and we don't always do the same kind of projects at the same time. So that one just looked ugly. So yeah, that's enough about my griping about work. Let's see. So I recently, my sister told me that there was this actual Hollywood movie that was actually about Filipinos, or like Filipino characters on it. And so I went to go look it up. It's called like Easter Sunday. And it's actually an actual film that looks like it's coming out in August. And it's starring the half Filipino comedian. His name is like Jokoy. He's actually from Washington. So, and I remember watching the Netflix stand-up comedy thing from him. So I went to watch the trailer, And then I was, let me just tell you, I sometimes feel like I'm not Filipino enough, because some of, like, in the trailer there was a part where, I mean, it's a comedy, so it's overly exaggerated. But there was a part in the trailer where, like, some person was like, why are all your pin numbers like this number? And they're like, that's Manny Pacquiao's birthday. And I'm like, I have no idea when Manny Pacquiao's birthday is until I saw that in the trailer. So yeah, that's where sometimes I feel like I'm not Filipino enough. Or there's just certain things that I, but yeah, either way, but ever since I watched the trailer on YouTube has been constantly recommending other videos that have Jokoi in it. So I watched recently this video where he was pretending, so he made like a fake, like QVC kind of, like, what do you call those, the home shopping network kind of commercials, I guess infomercials, is that what they're so called, where, you know, they're trying to sell something. So he made this fake one that he was calling it Filipino Tupperware, and he was trying to sell Filipino Tupperware. It was just a comedy skit, so he wasn't really selling Filipino Tupperware, but it was funny because I was like, oh my god, that's so true. He was saying, oh yeah, here is this container, and the container was the outside box of Cool Whip, and he was like, yeah, you could use this to hold your lunch. Okay, had some technical difficulties there. I didn't notice the video stopped recording. So I have, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I finished up this amount of it. Ended up taking a break after I saw, I was like, why did it stop recording again? And then I kind of went and read back where I was, or like watched the end of the video to know kind of where it stopped. So yeah. Yeah. But I ended up, I think it looked like I lost about like that much diamond painting here. So I ended up stopping the video, contemplated whether I was like, that's long enough, I'll just do a little outro, and I was like, no, let's just keep going. I wanted to, I even stopped my timer, and I already wrote down that I did 53 minutes, and then I was like, okay, you know what, I kind of want to keep going, so I'm going to keep going and restart my timer here. And where is all my pieces of paper here? So trying to just kind of cover it up. I'm gonna start out again with the ABs and just kind of, maybe I'll use my two placer. Just put like two at a time in places. Sometimes just one, because that's what came with the pen, and start up adding the little ABs. So yeah. Technical difficulties, they happen a lot. And it took actually a little bit for me to just even start this video up again, because I was having a little bit more technical difficulties. I had to restart some things. Yeah, technical difficulties. Hazards of doing these long videos, maybe. And you can't diamond paint. Just like, the one good thing about this kind of channel is, do you know how little editing I do? Very little editing. There is like, the editing is like non-existent. So, and that's probably why sometimes I have some like little mishaps. So, little mishaps. So, yeah. I don't remember if I said thank you in the beginning of the video to all the kind kind words folks said in my last WIP and chat. I did a little bit of kind of talking about some negative comments and what they said, and thank you guys for the overwhelming support. Like I said, I don't remember. I should maybe watch my video, but thanks for all the overwhelming support from the previous WIP and chat last week. I really appreciate it. It makes, yeah, like, the diamond, it makes making these videos so much easier. That, especially knowing you guys enjoy the videos and don't mind my strange quirks. I don't know. Do I have, yeah, my strange quirks. That's what I'll call it. Because yeah, I just enjoy diamond painting so much that that's what this channel is about. It's just about diamond painting and how much I enjoy doing it, and I'm sure many of you guys enjoy diamond painting also, and hence why you're watching. Is that enough diseased chicken pox on the canvas? See, that this is the problem with me trying to do this randomly, is like I'm like not like, I'll try to systematically make it like not so random and just more spread out. I feel like I should put like 3 next to each other just to make it less random. Ooh, let's like make that next to each other. So yeah. So like I said, I went and watched where my video stopped, and I was talking about the Filipino Tupperware joke that Jokoi was doing, and because I was like, oh well, I might as well. I took a break. I was like, I was so unhappy when I noticed that the stuff was not recording, that I was like, okay, maybe this is it, and I'll just record my outro. And then I was like, no, I was planning to diamond paint more, so I was just like, let's just take a break, go away, cry a little bit about losing some stuff. So yeah, I think that's probably enough ABs in there. And the ABs just kind of add, like, depending on how the light hits it, you could kind of just see the sparkle on there, and you don't need all ABs, because actually all ABs probably will look bad, but you just need a couple in there to add the extra sparkle. So, and I'm just using some of my cover sheets here to make sure I don't add extra fluff. So where's my 7-placer? So, and I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but in person, even though I only kind of sporadically put the ABs, it looks way more like it just looks like there's way more ABs than there actually is, because I feel like the ABs kind of like, rhinestones sparkle a lot already, that the AB rhinestone is just like extra sparkle. So yeah, I was talking about the joke, and then there were he was talking about Filipino Tupperware, and I don't know what I said before, but I think it's the main, like, I feel like Filipinos keep a lot of things, and I have kind of kept the habit, and hence why you kind of see sometimes I have my ice cream container here serving as my garbage can. And I have like another ice cream container holding all of my, like, a whole bunch of baggies of my DMC list drills, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with, but they're just there hanging out in baggies until I know what I'm gonna do with them. And that's probably also why my spare storage got, if you watched my older videos of how I kept my spares, my box was practically a bunch of other than the outer box, which I did buy, and I was very much contemplating just using a shoe box, but my problem is shoe boxes don't come in the same sizes and stuff like that. I was pretty much using mainly recycled materials. So, I mean, you saw my dividers were just cut up junk mail. My original card DMC things was cut up junk mail. All my baggies were just baggies that came with diamond paintings. And I think the only I think if it wasn't for the channel, I probably would still be doing that. Or I don't know. Or I just might, it's sometimes you see other folks have it much prettier and you just kind of want to be like, oh, I want mine just as pretty too. But I feel like I'm not sure if I didn't have the channel, would I have made the effort to make it look pretty, because when you see it on camera, you're just like, it's so ugly. So, so yeah, I feel like the whole reason that was happening is just my mentality to not throw things away and to use things that are still useful for other purposes. So, but yeah, a lot of the jokes that he has just it works, it's relevant to me. So since I was saying that I watched the trailer for the, what was it called, the Easter Sunday, which was the trailer for the, I guess, Hollywood film about actual Filipinos, and I'm like, that's really nice. That maybe that could be one that I will relate to. So at some point I went, so then after I saw the trailer, I went to look up. I was like, because I saw an interview with him. I don't remember who was interviewing him, but he was saying that there's been like a lot of rejections, mainly saying that there's not enough audience for this kind of film or something, because there's not enough, I guess, Filipinos or something. So I actually go look up the last, I just look up like demographics of the US, and Filipinos, I think, was depending on which one, was either second or third in the Asians in the US. In some of them, like number one was, I think, Chinese, and then second is either Indian or Filipino. It just depended on which one. I think the Indian population has increased faster than the Filipino population in the US. So that's why I think some of the ones where they were doing the 2010 census had Filipinos in second, and then I think maybe the Indian population in the US has gotten bigger, so they might have surpassed the Filipinos. But what I find interesting with that is that I remember, like, I didn't end up watching it because I don't really watch much live TV, but I remember there was the sitcom on TV that was called like Fresh Off the Boat, and I feel like those were Korean. And Korean was way farther down in the quantity of Americans who are Korean in the US. So to say that there's no people to watch the Filipino show, I'm like, there's way more of us in the US. Was Fresh Off the Boat Korean? I feel like the folks were Korean. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting to watch a Hollywood movie, I guess, that I might get the inside jokes. Maybe, who knows? I sometimes feel I'm not Filipino enough. Like certain portions of it, the trailer. This is just based off of the trailer, where I'm like, the one good thing I liked about it, it looked like it took place in Daly City, and as someone who pretty much grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, I once upon a time, the first place I moved when my came to the U.S. was actually Daly City, and I pretty much lived in that area for a long time. So I was like, "Ooh, it takes place in Daly City." Although I went to look up the filming location, it's filmed in Canada. It's filmed in Vancouver. So I'm like, "Oh, you can even film in Daly City." But I do know, I think Vancouver has a really big what do you call it, filming industry. So, and there's a lot of Filipinos in Vancouver. I remember going to Vancouver because the last time I went to Vancouver was 2020, actually, when I went to drop my parents off at the airport there, because there's a direct flight to the Philippines from Vancouver. There's no easy direct flight from Seattle to go to the Philippines, so it was like, do my parents have to, like, when they came to Seattle last, they had to, and that was, and Canada was still closed to, like, it was not necessarily closed, but there was just more restrictions to enter Canada than there is to enter the US. Yeah. Um, my parents flew in and they had to fly into LA, and then LA went to Seattle. So, and so yeah, usually my parents were flying into Vancouver and I drive all the way, yes, I drive all the way to Vancouver just to pick them up from the airport. But there's like a Costco next to the airport, and that's where I would hang out. Yes, I'd hang out at Costco. It's the best hangout place. Um, there's a Costco on the way to the airport, and I'd hang out there, and I'm like, hey, there's so many Filipinos here. I could tell, because, you know, they're talking Tagalog. So there's a good Filipino population in Vancouver, but yeah, the Easter Sunday takes place in Daly City, it looks like, maybe possibly San Francisco. They always showed the bridge, you know, as if we just drive over the Golden Gate Bridge all the time, because there's no reason, seriously, unless you're going to Marin County, there is no reason for you to drive over the Golden Gate Bridge. Or you're going on, like, tourist. There's no reason for you to drive over the Golden Gate Bridge. But because, yeah, there's no point where you're going from San Francisco to Daly City that you ever need to go across the Golden Gate Bridge. But yeah, but it's just one of those things that looks like, oh yeah, the people in San Francisco drive over the Golden Gate Bridge all the time. But okay, so it'll be interesting. I'll probably watch it, but I'm still reluctant to watch anything in the theater. I'm like, nah, that's okay. And I don't, because, you know, I still mask up, and that's primarily because, you know, my sister just had the baby. They can't get vaccinated at this point, so for me to feel better about visiting the baby, I'm still masking up pretty much everywhere. Because, yeah, I'm vaccinated, my mom is vaccinated, my sister's vaccinated, my brother-in-law's vaccinated, but the baby is not. So I'm trying to not be the reason to bring anything into the house. So yeah, I probably won't watch in the theater, unfortunately, but I will watch it when it goes into, I don't know, where you could buy Prime or something. But no, I just thought that was interesting, that I'm hoping that means that there will be watchers of it, and it will be interesting to be able to, I guess, watch something Filipino in the US. Because even if it doesn't do well in the US, guess what? The folks in the Philippines might very well watch it. I remember at one point, I bet at one, I think I read at one point that, I don't remember what year this was, but that there were more people in the Philippines watching American Idol than Americans watching American Idol. So yeah, Filipinos will watch. There's a lot of us. There's, like, the Philippines has over 100 million people, I think, now. So, and that's those ones living in the Philippines. So there might be, even if the Filipinos in the US don't watch it, there might be Filipinos in the Philippines watching the stuff. But I guess we'll see. So, let's see. So, what I have not talked about. Okay, so let's see. I do have my computer here. I've had it since the beginning, and I'm like, I'm only answering it now. So, I have my computer here set to sort out the things with questions. So let me make it bigger so I could read it from far away. So Ed asked, okay, so this was in response, in a question in my last WIP and chat where I did the Heaven and Earth Designs diamond painting. And I finished it, and he said he has the same pattern. And for the ABs, did you replace all the DMCs you listed for AB, or did you use them sparingly for that color? I actually replaced all of them for that with that AB. And I think it turned out okay. Like I purposely went through and made sure my ABs weren't, the ones that I put in there weren't like crazy different from the original color, and I just replaced them all. So there weren't actually, so yeah, in case you're wondering. I do have a couple more of my Heaven and Earth patterns, and I think what I'm going to do for those ones is, if I have, like, I have a whole bunch of ABs, and if I have enough, I'll probably replace them, and if they're not too different from the original color, it probably won't make that much of a difference. But what I think I might do is, using my Pattern Keeper app, is choose that DMC and then have the whole picture in my app so that I can see it where that DMC is. And I think if I notice that that certain DMC is in a massively color block section, I probably won't choose it. I think the ABs work better when they're just kind of sporadically put in as opposed to in a color block section. So I think that's what I'll do for my future ones. Because this one I just was like, oh, okay, I have that one, that AB, I'll just replace them all. And it actually turned out pretty well. Most of the ABs that I had on the flower were just kind of, they weren't like massive color block sections, so I think it worked out. But for other diamond paintings, especially since you can't see the pattern, well, you can see the pattern. Well, yeah, you know, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you don't see it on the canvas, so you kind of don't see where they're going to be. I think probably my next strategy will just be open up the pattern on my Pattern Keeper app, and then zoom out so I can see the whole picture, and then choose the DMC and see what it highlights and make sure it's not completely in one massive color block section. But yeah, nope, I replaced them all. Yeah, and he was like, for example, 152 has 1141 in the pattern. Did you replace all 1141 pieces? Yes, I replaced all of those with the AB. That one was probably the one that I had the most of, and I think it worked out okay. But yeah, going forward, I feel like my next strategy will be just to make sure I don't have a massive color block section, and hence why you saw I kind of just sprinkled the ABs on this, and it looks really nice, like, in person. I'm not sure if the AB shine will show up on camera. Okay, so Christy asked, how do you know if it's poured glue or not? So the poured glue canvases, this is poured glue. What usually how you can tell is the clear cover, and that the clear cover is not the same exact size as the actual glue, because I think there's some double-sided adhesive canvases, I mean, that have a clear cover. So usually, like, like for the poured glue, they put the glue on and spread it around. I think I've seen it like where they have like this square or rectangle, the size it, and then they pour the glue, and then they have like a squeegee kind of thing to spread it out, and then I think it's supposed to cure or dry, and then they put the cover on it. And if you notice, lots of times the cover for a poured glue canvas is not the same exact size as the adhesive, while in a double-sided adhesive, and this is the cover for a double-sided adhesive, I just cut it up, and double-sided adhesive is primarily just massive double-sided tape. So, and if you have double-sided tape that has the covering on it, so the adhesive would be the exact same size as the cover. And usually that's how I could tell it's double-sided adhesive. Also, double-sided adhesive, since it comes in the tape rolls, usually if you go at the corner, you can sometimes pick it off and it could come off as like a layer. While poured glue is kind of more gluey, so that if you do try to scrape it off, it'll come out in like clumps, while the double-sided adhesive will come out more like sheets. So yeah, that's how I could usually tell it's double-sided adhesive. And most people prefer the poured glue over the double-sided adhesive, because double-sided adhesive sometimes has issues, like where if the adhesive wasn't put on completely flat, it could have little bubbles, and or if it was, the canvas was not completely flat, you could have like a part where there's like a canyon, I don't know, on the canvas. So most people prefer the poured glue. And I've noticed, other than a couple diamond painting companies from AliExpress, most companies do the poured glue now. So I have actually very minimal double-sided adhesive well, I have a good amount, and I've done plenty, and like you see, I have pieces of paper here, but mostly they're from AliExpress. I also noticed that double-sided adhesive is a little bit less slippery. So like this, if I messed up, I could just move it to the side there. Double-sided adhesive, it's like you really, sometimes you can't move it. So you would have to get your tweezers to move them. So yeah, that's how I can tell. So with the clear cover, it's probably most likely poured glue. And then if you have this more paper cover, it's probably double-sided adhesive. But the real way is the cover the same size as your adhesive? And if it is, it probably is double-sided adhesive, because they're not going to bother removing the cover and put a different cover on there. Okay, so next question. What is your process for making labels after you scan the index? This is asked by Miss Yankee 65. So I actually have a video where I pretty much explain the process of how I scan the legend and make the labels from it. So when I respond to this comment, I'll put in the video. When I respond to, I'm like behind. I'm sorry, I'm like so behind on the comments, but it does allow me to answer these things, I guess, on camera. And you will probably have the answer before this video comes up, because I'm usually not that behind on answering questions. So yeah, I do have a video where I showed what I did. I made it like, I don't know, last year sometime. And I'll add the link to the video. At least the video that you're asking this, which was my kitting up video from last week, where I did actually scan the legend for most of, I think I did it for all of them. So yeah. So when I say scan, so I do have a printer that's one of those ones that's all in one printer kind of thing, where you can scan, photocopy, print, and things like that. And then I would just cut out the scan of the actual legend and put it on some label paper. And I have removable label paper for that purpose. And that's how I make my scan legends. And then I just slice off, I do it on the 8.5 by 11, and then I just slice off the top, and I just keep reinserting the label paper until I run out. And sometimes, so I've noticed that my printer doesn't have like a feed tray, and I've noticed that a lot of new printers don't have the little feed tray, so I just put it in there, put the label in all the way to forward, and hope that it picks it up. And it's mostly been doing it fine. So And then you've seen how I cut it on camera during the kitting ups. So yeah, somewhere in my channel is a video of how I make the labels. I think I need to redo my wax on this one. And yes, I just used the pink wax. And I just put them on a green tray, and after I'm done with this wax and I throw away the whole thing. The green tray and the wax, because do you know how many green trays I have? I have so many green trays. And I don't care about the drawing out the wax because I have so much wax too, so. Okay, so, and if you don't know, like usually the crystal rhinestones, I have to fill the wax more often. I also usually have to fill the wax more often for rounds for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they're pointier and they go into the wax more, or maybe they're just dustier. I don't know. But for the crystal rhinestones, I do usually have to fill the wax more often, just because the silvering gets onto the wax, even if it's not. Just because I just feel like some of them just have sprinklings of silver, even though if you can't see it. And it gets on the wax, and it causes the wax not to be as sticky anymore. But I think just the longer you diamond paint with it. I've also noticed it's usually a little bit easier to diamond paint with the multi-placer for the crystal rhinestones than the single placer, because the wax lasts a little longer for the multi-placer. Or maybe it just feels like it lasts a little longer because I could do so much more in a short period of time. But yeah. Next question. Do you have a discount code for this company? Oh, okay. So, my unboxing of my crystal canvas art designs, it's the most I've ever bought at once from any company at all. Like I got 9 diamond paintings because, you know, it was such a good deal, and I'm a sucker for deals. And I know reality wise, I'm probably gonna diamond paint a good amount of them. So. So yeah, no, I don't actually have a discount code for Crystal Canvas Art Designs. I am not in any way affiliated with them. I was just a regular customer buying diamond paintings from them after I saw a coupon code that they had listed on their Instagram page, which I just happened to see because I don't go on Instagram that often anymore. And I was already anticipating making a purchase from them. I already had some that I wanted to buy. Unfortunately, I didn't buy some of them because they went off of the sale page, and I was like, no, they're not on sale anymore. And I noticed their diamond paintings that are on sale fluctuate a lot. Like it changes a lot. So no, I don't have a discount code for Crystal Canvas Art Designs. I don't know if there are discount other than the ones I saw, the one that I used, that I got from the Instagram page, which was, after folks started asking me about discount codes, I was like, wow, you guys think I'm part of this company? I just bought a lot from them. No, but after folks started asking me about discount codes, I went and edited the description and wrote the discount code that I ended up using for the purchase. I don't know if it still works, but yeah, nope, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. In fact, I maybe you might not realize this, but other than the Amazon links and Craft Ease, I'm not an affiliate for any diamond painting company. So the discount codes that you see on my description is just discount codes the companies give me, like when they send me a PR package. A couple of them have been like, oh, here's a discount code for your folks. I don't make any money off of you buying with the discount code other than you having a discount code, which I really like discount codes. So when they give me discount codes, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'll put that in. I even asked some of them for discount codes, and some of them will give me ones, and some of them were just like, no, we can't give you a discount code. I'm like, fine. So So yeah, nope. Other than Amazon and Crafties, none of my codes will give me any extra money. So my unboxings are just pretty much, I guess they're paying me in free stuff. And I do the unboxings mainly, one, because I diamond paint a lot, and two, it gives me content for the channel. So, and I have the luxury of trying a whole bunch of diamond painting so you could see whether or not you want to purchase it yourself. But nope, I have no, man, this drill is bigger than the others, but I'm just gonna keep it in there because I don't I don't I don't care as long as it doesn't pop off. So yeah, not affiliated with Crystal Canvas Art Designs, although with how much I bought and how much I do, maybe I should. But, and it's mainly laziness. I should probably try to do affiliates for anything I show. It's just, I personally, myself, I don't make much, or if any, money from the affiliate links. So I don't think I have a big enough audience to make a lot of money from affiliate linking. So nope, not making banks from being an affiliate for anything, and hence why I'm just like, eh. And I didn't really want to be an affiliate for diamond painting companies that I don't do enough of, because like I could become an affiliate for things, but I'm like, I diamond paint like everyone. So there's like nothing that I diamond paint so much that I'm like, I would have a lot of content for that company. So yeah, nope, no coupon code. But I was very happy with my haul from there. Okay. Oh, there's another person asking for a coupon code from Crystal Canvas Art Designs. Nope, sorry. So this is what I have. Marie asking about a discount code. Lily asking about a discount code, because apparently she had bought stuff from QLUO and then suddenly I had a discount code for it. Well, it was just coincidental because I had bought from them prior to them ever sending me something. I've only done a PR package for them once. So, and then they did give me a code. So then I put that in my channel. And nope, I don't get any money from QLUO either. So yeah, nope, I have, as far as I know, no coupon code. Perhaps I should just start contacting companies and being like, hi, I'm gonna buy something from you. Can I have a coupon code for... But I kind of don't want to. I kind of sometimes want to just buy from some places like I don't do this for the free diamond paintings or anything. It's nice because I do diamond paint a lot, but no, I don't go out of my way asking to become to unbox for any certain companies. If they contact me, and I might say yes if I have space on my channel. Do you know how many companies I do collaborations with? It's to the point that I have to slow down. I could have an unboxing probably every day if I wanted to. I just don't want to have an unboxing every day. So yeah, nope, I don't usually go out of my way to get free diamond paintings. They come to me. Don't I feel special? But they come to me mainly because if I went and tried to solicit more, I just don't have space. Like, my channel is already very full. I want to actually diamond paint and not just unbox. So yeah, nope, no discount code, sorry. Okay, so Ellen asked, Did you seal, so this is still the Crystal Canvas Art Designs unboxing. Did I seal the completed canvas that I showed at the end with the butterfly? I actually did. So I usually seal my diamond paintings that don't go behind any glass or anything, mainly because I'm just kind of afraid that it would just get dusty or something, or the drills might fall off, or I don't know. So I did seal the canvas that I showed at the end with the butterfly and the tulip. I used a spray sealer. I can't recall which one I used. So last year, which I probably bought too late in the year, I went to Walmart and just bought a whole bunch of spray sealers, and I was going to do a video showing the difference in the spray sealers, and then it never didn't rain for yeah, I think I bought it too late in the year. I'm gonna have to try to do it for this summer. So, and the problem with spray sealers is you can't spray them indoors. So, and they have a temperature range where they work. So I bought a whole bunch of spray sealers last year, and I've just been periodically randomly using some of them to spray my diamond paintings. There's only been one where I didn't like the result, and after that I just didn't use it. So I'll still put that in my video. So I have that bottle, but I think pretty much most of the bottles I tried worked well enough to seal my diamond paintings. So yeah, I did seal it, but with a spray sealer. And that's probably how I do have some liquid sealers, but it's not my favorite type. But the liquid sealers work so much, are so much more, I don't know. Like after you usually do a liquid sealer, the drills won't move. Like if you do this, you're like, nope, that drill is in there. It's just a little bit messier. The spray sealer, you have to usually seal like 3 or 4 coats to get it so that it doesn't move. But it's so much faster. But it's not as cheap. So yeah, yes, I did seal it. Why I'm like going off on tangents. Yes, I did seal the diamond painting. So Celine asked, are you going to kit up any of these new crystal canvas art kits for your mom since she likes working on rhinestones? I have not yet, but I am planning to do. So my mom, the last time I went to visit her, she had actually finished most of the diamond paintings that I had given her initially, except the like 140 by 50, and she's like, it's a little too big for my table, because the table my sister has in her spare room is small. Like, it's one of those ones I think meant for laptops, and you know, laptops are not that big, so you don't need that much space for it. It's like one of those kind of desks, and so she had one, like all of the ones I gave her were like 40 by 40, or like not 40 by 40, but you know those ones that are from the budget diamond painting companies where it says it's 40 by 40, but it's actually a 35 by 35, or you know, like the 40 by 50s, which is actually more a 35 by 45. So they're slightly shorter, and I gave her one 40 by 50, which she still hasn't done, mainly because she was like, it's too big for where she's working. So, and unfortunately, pretty much most of the stuff I got from Crystal Canvas Art Designs was at least a 40 by 50, I think, or a 40 by 40. So, and that's a real 40 by 40 and not just a 35 by 35. But I think there's a couple that I'll do at least one for her. I'm not sure which one yet. I know she likes, yeah, she and I have pretty similar tastes, except she's not as big of a fan of the animal diamond paintings as me. And she doesn't like it when there's too much confetti, so I might have to just go through them and see which ones have more or less confetti. So yeah, no, it's like she's like, do you see this? There was like 10 colors of pink. Why is there 10 colors of pink? No, she doesn't, she's not as big of a fan of the confetti. And I don't know if she's as big of a fan of the ones with a lot of colors. Me, those are the ones I like. I don't know about the confetti, but I'm like, I want as many colors as possible because I feel like that's going to end up really nice. But yeah, I'll have to see if any of them are match her criteria, although they might just be too big. So, but I do know she does enjoy the crystal rhinestone ones. And for a while, those were the main ones she was doing. And the rounds she's pretty much doing because she pretty much depleted me of my stash. So yeah, I will at some point. I'm probably this week's kitting up, which I have not yet recorded. I will probably kit up some things to take with me for when I visit my mom next week. Ken. So yeah, I already have two things kitted up for her. So that I was gonna take. I was actually thinking of bringing my diamond painting that I finished maybe 1/6 of it, and it's a round that I just, and then for whatever reason I just have not finished it, and I'm thinking she might like the picture, and it'll be like, here, I started this last year. Do you want to finish it? Yeah, no, it's horrible. But yeah, no, so I'll have to go see which ones might, or it just be like, yeah, Ma, sorry, there's 30 colors on this one. So yes, she's actually not a big fan of the many colors and confetti, so. Let's see. So Mary asked, what do you do with all your finished paintings? Yeah, most of them are actually just in portfolio books. So this is and that's probably the main reason I don't go too big on my diamond paintings, is because I put all my finishes in portfolio books. And my biggest portfolio book is 18 by 24 inches, which is probably the equivalent of a 45 by 60. So anything bigger than a 45 by 60, I usually am very reluctant to even purchase it because I'm like, where am I going to put this? And a large amount of my big ones are actually framed and on my walls. So if I'm going to do a big one, it's because I'm thinking it's going to go on my wall somewhere. And yeah, otherwise, if it can't fit in my portfolio book, it's hanging in my closet on a, it's either rolled up or just hanging like from a hanger in my closet. So yeah, I saw this thing on Instagram where it looked like someone, what they did was they looked like they got like a it was probably a wardrobe kind of hanger thing, like not. I'm like horrible at talking. Like, why am I so I'm bad at describing things. So it was like one of those, like, it had like a shelf on the bottom, and it looked like what they did is they had the canvas, and they were using this to display their finishes. And what they had is, it looked like they got those rings, those big rings that are like you could open up, and and then it looks like they poked holes on the canvas, and they were using that to display their diamond painting across the hanger section. I don't know if it's on the Dreamer Designs Instagram. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, at some point recently, they had a picture of, I guess, one of their folks showing how this is how they were displaying their Dreamer Designs diamond painting. But I thought it was a good idea. And if I was thinking, I was like, where in my house can I put like this hanger thing, and I could put my diamond. I wouldn't hang it the same way they did. They didn't. I'm not a big fan of displaying my diamond paintings with the background like this. Like this is ugly. I'm like, I don't want to see this around my diamond painting if I'm gonna have it displayed. So I would probably do a little bit differently, but I was like, that might be a way to display my large diamond paintings, is to kind of have it on, yeah, on the rings, and then you could just change what's in the front so that, but then you could also still like flip through it and see what other diamond paintings were done. I was just more thinking, where in the world would I put this in my house? I'm like, I don't know, where would I put this in my house? It's like, it's something that would take up space, you know, so I'm like, where in the world would I put this in my house? Other than like my bedroom. I actually have this wall in my bedroom that my mom's like, this is the perfect place for you to put all your pictures of your diamond painting. And it would be one of those kind of, what do you call those walls where you just have a whole bunch of paintings just kind of displayed with, is it like a no, it's not a statement wall. That's like when you color one of the walls like a certain color. Yeah, I like a gallery wall. I don't know if that's what the word is, man. I'm bad at vocabulary. But I do have this wall in my bedroom that doesn't have a piece of furniture against it or anything, so it's just a massive wall where I could do this gallery of my diamond paintings. I'm just, for whatever reason, hanging up things on my wall is just not easy for me to do for whatever reason. I just don't like doing it. I just don't like, every time I try to hang something up on my wall, I'm like, eh. So yeah, I was thinking, hey, I could just get this clothes hanger thing and just have my diamond paintings kind of on it, and you could just kind of flip through it to see what my bigger diamond paintings are. But then I'm like, do I really want to do I want to go big? I have gone bigger before, but it's not my favorite. Just takes too long. I'm impatient, apparently. I want to finish now, and when I don't have that finish now, then I'm like, when can I kit up next? Yeah. Hazards of doing the big ones is you're not going to be kitting up that often, because they just take too long. I'm using up a good amount of my clear drills here, so. But yeah, no, I was like, that might be interesting. Might think about doing that if I could find a place to put it. So. Okay, this person's asking for where I got a diamond painting. I'd have to look it up. So, let's see. I'm trying to read. Oh, so I was in unboxing, I always pretty much say, whenever I see the little teeny tiny teardrops, I say how much I dislike the drills. And Denise asked me why I dislike them. Is it because it's hard to pick up, or is it both? Is it because of the shape and it's hard to pick up? No, so the thing is, the teardrops. The thing is with teardrops, so you see the rounds. There's only one. There's no orientation. Like, you can put it in whichever direction you want because it's round. It doesn't matter. See, but teardrops, there's only one way to put them. There's only one direction you could put them. Like, because there's a point, and you can't flip it around because then it would be the wrong direction. And then so the little teeny tiny teardrops are even worse because they're small. You have to orient them, and when they're in a diamond painting, there tend to be a lot of them to use the little teeny tiny teardrops. So yeah, when you diamond paint it, There's only one direction you could put it. Even the tiny marquees, there's two directions at least. You could flip them this way and then that way. But the teardrops, only one direction. So that's the main reason. It's like you add, and then since they're so small, usually I would have to use like tweezers to get it in, or I would just get my tray and just do this and then try to like pick them up when they're in the right direction. Because otherwise you're just like doing this and then you're like, need to turn my pen so that they could be in the right direction. So yeah, that's the main reason I don't like the little teeny tiny teardrops. Is one, they're the hardest ones to use just because there's one orientation that it is correctly put on the canvas. And even squares, you have 4 different directions you could put squares. So squares, even though, unlike rounds where you could put them in any sort of directions, squares still have 4, but the teardrops only have 1 direction you could put them in correctly. Okay. So Melissa asked how many drills each of the baggies hold. I have no idea. I don't have any idea how much these bags hold. I just fill them up until they can't be filled anymore. And she really wants me to make a thing for my stickers, like my little diamond stickers. She wants me to make a template for them. When I see, I made those based off of what number I was at when I finished. So I'm still kind of like, me and the silhouette are BFFs, not really sometimes. So yeah, if when I get the chance and if I remember, sometimes I'm like, I don't remember to do things. I'll just create a PDF or something with them, and I'll just put them in my shared folder. But yeah, no, I just made it once, and I haven't had to go back to it for a while. I mean, I have my next set of stickers are here. But I was at they're not in a perfect number. Like I mean, this starts at 272 because that's where I was. So it might not be. And then I used my silhouette to cut them. So yeah, at some point, if I remember, hopefully, I will just generate a PDF with them on a whole page. And I don't know if you have a cutter, some sort of cutting machine to cut them out. But yeah, I don't plan to sell it because yeah, I don't really think it's, yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know how valuable it would be without having a template for the cutting. I don't know. But yeah, just note to self whenever I remember to do it, because I don't remember to do things. A lot of things. It's just to generate it somehow on a PDF. But I was just doing it on a spreadsheet, so let's see. So Cheryl asked, where did I get my bigger bags from? Okay, so if it's one of my bigger bags, I just got it free from a diamond painting. I just, or I don't know, free. It came with a diamond painting. Is it really free? Because it just came with a diamond painting, whether it was housing the drills or they just gave you a pack of empty bags. It came with a diamond painting. My bigger bags, most of my bigger bags, well, the ones that I could remember where it came from, they came from when I bought something from Star Ore. The Star Ore actually is probably the diamond painting company that comes with the best bags that they give you on the side. So So yeah, that's where I got those bags from. Do you sell extra bags and drills? No, I don't. All of the drills you see on my channel are my hoard. Me hoarding the drills because I'm apparently a drill hoarder. And you see this? Like, do you see all of this clear drill? This, I did not buy any of these separately. These all are just leftovers from the several diamond paintings done by me and my mom. So my mom and I, that's such bad English. I could speak English. So nope, I don't sell the drills. They're just leftovers from finished diamond paintings, which after 2 years, I have finished a good amount of diamond paintings, and I do a lot of the small ones, and I feel like when you do a lot of the small ones, you're more likely to accumulate spare drills, because just from the quantity of extras. Because I feel like in the big ones, you'll just have the same amount of extras as some of the small ones. So yeah, I diamond paint a lot. So nope. And my baggies, if I didn't buy them, I just got them from diamond paintings, because I've noticed a lot of diamond paintings now are coming with baggies. So if you don't want to buy them, eventually you'll be able to accumulate enough baggies to store all of your spares. And that's from experience. I was able to accumulate enough baggies to store my spares, even with a different bag for every shade. So yeah. And that is the last question. That's the last question. I think I'll just finish up to here, and then we'll be done with this whip and chat, which it has been long already, because for whatever reason, I don't know how to do short videos anymore. So yeah, I figure I need like a stopping point. It needs to be a nice stopping point. So yeah. So next week, I will probably still work on next week's whip and chat, which I'm trying to make the whip and chat a almost regularly scheduled video. Just kind of like, I don't know if you know, but if you notice that my videos are like Mondays tend to be my kitting downs, Fridays are my kitting ups, Tuesday and Thursday are my unboxing videos, and Wednesday is my dumping ground for whatever I feel like putting in. And since Wednesdays was my dumping ground for whatever else, this is where I put my whip and chat. And Saturday is my dumping ground for, I have too many videos in the queue. I just need to put one up on Saturday, which is not going to be a regularly scheduled thing, but that's just my thing. I'm like, I have too many videos, must put on Saturday. I don't anticipate going into Sunday ever. So yeah, I will, next week's thing, I think I don't know if I'm just gonna just do this during a diamond painting, during a whip and chat, and just finish this whole thing on a whip and chat, or if I'm gonna work on it outside of the whip and chats. I'm thinking I might just do this during the whip and chats. And so next week I'll probably, I have a random drill here. It's one of my ABs, so might as well just put it in. Next week I'll probably end up finishing the background, and then if anyone has any like tips, because I don't do adult coloring, mainly because I didn't want to have to choose how to color it in, and I don't know if anyone's ever done one of these coloring book images, and whether do you do all of this one that's supposed to be black and then just color it in, or do you use, like, I was thinking of putting red for this here because it's a heart, right? And using red for this outline here, and then using like slightly darker colors for the outline and then lighter colors for the inside. I'll probably have to use lighter colors anyway for the stuff with the white because you'll be able to see the background. And I'm not sure how that's going to show up with something with a darker color if there's a white background. So I'll probably preferentially choose slightly lighter colors for the stuff that's in white, and then I'll use darker colors or black. I don't know. Like, do I want to make the outline all black? It seems like a lot of black to make the outline all black. So I'm hoping to not have the outline be all black, even though I do have a lot of black drills. So it's not because of a lack of black drills. So yeah, if folks have done one of these before or have just, yeah, opinions, let me know. Cause yeah, I'm pondering. This is why I don't do adult coloring, because then you have to make choices about what colors to use and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know what colors. At least when I do my blinging up, I kind of have the base color in there and be like, oh, I just need to find like something blue, and then I just find a blue one, and that's not too bad. These ones where I'm just like, it's white, what do I color it with? I have no idea. And my mentality is, unless it looks really bad, it's gonna stay whatever I ended up diamond painting it. Because if you've ever had to pick out drills from a canvas, it's not easy to pick out drills from a canvas. A lot, like, it's okay to do like maybe one or two, but once you have to pick out a lot, it's not easy. It's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to pick it out. So I think unless it looks ugly, whatever the first color is that I put in there, that's what's gonna be. And who knows if I'm going to be successful with this one. I mean, how ugly can I make it? I don't think so. But yeah, unless it looks super ugly, whatever I diamond paint first will be what it's going to be. And with this, I won't be able to do it in sections, mainly because I kind of need to see the whole thing. And yeah. So yeah, I just have to come up with a strategy. How do I color this thing? And can you believe I have enough drills to probably color this whole thing from my spares? Actually, you probably can. You've seen how many kitting downs I do. I just diamond paint a lot. Diamond paint a lot. But I also, because I'm using my spares, I am kind of restricted to what I have enough of. Like this background, I think this clear is the only one I have, other than maybe red, but that would have been a very dramatic background, right? If I made the background this red. I have 2.5 bags of this red. Like, I could have made this my background. I probably have enough of it to diamond paint this whole thing. But that would have been super, like, I don't know. I don't think I've done a red background diamond painting. That might have been interesting. But I think, yeah, the red was probably the only one that I probably had enough of to diamond paint this background. So yeah, I am constrained to, I guess, what I have. I'm sure I have enough black to fill the background. I have 2 versions of black. I have this black that has the silver backing, and then I have the black that doesn't have the silver backing here. And these are in my rhinestones because these have the flat tops. I don't know if you noticed, but rhinestones have the flat tops. But yeah, I don't know. With the black, I actually have more of the black without the silvering, so that's probably what I'll use for the black. And can you even tell if it has the silvering or not? So yeah. Yeah, I need strategies. Strategy of how to do a coloring book image, because I haven't done one before, and I haven't done just regular adult coloring before, mainly because I'm like, I don't know what colors. So yeah, it will be adventure, at least for me too, to do this. All right, so there is that much finished. Take this out, and I highly recommend, if you're gonna do things like me where you don't just diamond paint in sections, just keep some of the, this is, you could also buy these separately as release paper, but I don't use it to cover sometimes. I also use it just to make sure that what I'm touching is, I don't touch the stickiness. So yeah, there is how much I have diamond painted for this video. I'm not even sure if you could tell it's diamond painted since it's just nice and clear here. So yes, so that is all I have for today. And yeah, except for the technical difficulties in the middle. Oops, I should press stop. Except for the technical difficulties in the middle, you got most of what my diamond painting this here. Okay, yes, awkward finishes. All right, so that's all I have for today. So thank you for watching, and happy diamond painting. Bye!